Hey guys, welcome back and happy Wednesday, which means happy Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but also New Jersey trailer drop day. Today is going to be a good day. We also have Jason's mom flying into town, and tomorrow I'm getting a big giant screw stuck into my mouth. So if you guys wanted me to shut up, here's the opportunity. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. They said that I won't have to shut up too much, so sorry, guys. We're back to talk about Teresa Giudice, who's giving Todd and Julie Chrisley advice ahead of serving their prison sentences. And who better than the Giudices to comment on something that they know, well, all too well. So if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it's no secret that Teresa Giudice from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, which is very on brand for today, considering we're getting the Real Housewives of New Jersey trailer, but we're also getting the announcement and the cast photo as to who our new housewives are. And we heard that there's going to be two newbies. Jackie's going to be demoted, and then there's one more friend of, I think it's Jennifer Fessler. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up too much because there's been so much other stuff going on, but I am excited for the new season. And from all of the chatter, it's giving me legit Beverly Hills. Like when we heard about all of the Aspen drama and then that carried out and we heard about it for 6 months before, then we lived it for 6 months, and then we talked about it for 2 months after. Now with the Joe and Teresa stuff going into the wedding, we're going to have this for probably about 4 to 6 months, the show. And then we're going to get the wedding spinoff special. After the wedding spinoff special, then people will still be talking about it for another month or so, and then a new franchise will come out. But I think that it's fitting for Teresa to comment on the Chrisleys because Teresa and her ex-husband, Joe Giudice, both served time in prison over similar crimes, and Joe even had a lot to say about it. But before we get into what Joe had to say, let's get into this page 6 Teresa situation. Teresa Giudice told Todd and Julie Chrisley they need to stand strong less than a month before they begin their respective prison sentences. When asked by a TMZ paparazzi on Tuesday if she had any advice for the Chrisley Knows Best stars as they get ready to turn themselves in, the Real Housewives of New Jersey star revealed that manifesting is what got her through her own 11-month prison sentence in 2015. The 50-year-old advised them to stand strong for their family and manifest while being in prison what they want when they come out, and just to be strong for their children. I mean, to be fair, Teresa Giudice's 11-month prison stint is nowhere near 12 and 7 years. That's a lot longer, but she has advice. Giudice, who was also convicted of fraud alongside her ex-husband, Joe Giudice, continued, "It's going to be very hard, but they have to make the best of it. But they have to stay connected to their children and make it work." According to Teresa, having her children visit every week played a huge role in keeping the family connected throughout her time in jail. "The thing is, my children were young, but based on their schedule, at least go once a month." And I don't know if you guys remember, but Teresa decided, because they had an option. The judge was pretty good with them in the sense that they didn't make Teresa and Joe start serving their prison sentences at the same time. They let Teresa go in first. She did her 11 months. And then after that, she came out and she had like just a little bit of time with Joe, and then Joe had to go in. But of course, we know after he finished serving his time, he got deported back to Italy, and now he's living in the Bahamas. So he's still fighting to this day to get back into the country. And when their family isn't around to boost their spirits, the Bravo celebrity told them they should find different things as a pastime, such as exercising, manifesting, doing yoga, or even writing a book. While Todd was sentenced to 12 years behind bars and his wife was ordered to 7 years in prison, the twosome is already living every day like it's their last, according to their daughter, Lindsay. The couple, who was convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion in June, are also dedicating their time in therapy and their biblical studies, as well as spending time with their kids that are in Nashville. Todd and Julie were found guilty of conspiracy to defraud banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans back in June. They also submitted false credit reports and bank statements while trying to rent out a home. Although they filed an appeal for their sentencing and have maintained their innocence, they will be heading to Florida to fulfill their sentences in just a few weeks. I think it's January 17th that they're set to go in by, which is going to be here before you know it. And I know I've said this in other pre-records before, but Joe Giudice was on Teresa and Melissa Feaster's podcast called Namaste Bitches. And when he was saying pretty much the difference between us and them is that they have maintained their innocence. They have maintained the fact that, look, we didn't do this. We had nothing to do with this. We're not guilty of these crimes. We're going to continue to pray and fight and appeal and do everything we have to. That way, this does not stick with us. And from what we heard, if you go on or if you go about things that way, if you start maneuvering that way where it looks like you're telling the court, even though they have substantial evidence they believe against you, if you start telling them, look, I'm innocent of these crimes, then the judge is more apt to be harder on you and give you a harsher sentence and make you, well, just realize, well, actually, the reason you're here is because you committed some crimes. So Joe said since him and Teresa took the plea from the jump, like they plead out pretty quick, that they got lesser sentences, and had the Chrisleys have also plead out pretty quick, they would have gotten lesser sentences as well. Now, what's going to happen? I'm not sure. Do I think that Todd and Julie will have to serve the full total of 19 years in prison? No, I think that Todd, if he was sentenced to 12, he'll probably serve around 10 and a half, which is still a shit ton of time. And then I think that Julie will probably serve around 6 years. Even though now her requests are something about baking classes and yoga. I mean, listen, Teresa did say manifest what you want out of this. But I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. I don't want to just give you these opinions and not ask what you think. What do you think about Teresa feeling the need to give advice, even though she didn't offer this up out of the gate, right? TMZ caught up with her, but she did talk about it on her podcast, again, with her ex-husband. But what are your thoughts about that? And also, how do you feel like the Chrisleys are coping right now? Because they said they're leaning on friends, family, faith, their loved ones right now and living every day like it's their last. It's wild because they have less than a month before they have to turn themselves into prison. And then from there, who knows what's going to happen. I want to hear your thoughts, so go ahead and comment below. And before you go, don't forget that a new episode of Hot Messy Podcast dropped yesterday with Kempire. You can go check out the video version anywhere you get your podcasts. You get the regular version, but Hot Messy Podcast on YouTube. And then, of course, we're posting polls in our community tab and also the community tab on Hot Messy Podcast. I love you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, do all the YouTube stuff, get subscribed, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys.